Well, the Daily Wire's Ben Shapiro just wrapped up a speech hosted by the college Republicans. Here's a sample.
Something has to be done about a system where a few crazed leftists decide they don't want to hear somebody speak, and therefore people from the outside who pay taxes to universities like this one can't get in. It's a great thing that universities have people like me, and yes, like the person who's speaking opposite me on this campus, to give a variation of ideas.
Oh my gosh, those words are so dangerous. I mean, the university actually offered, I kid you not, counseling to students who might be upset even at the mention or the thought of Shapiro's appearance. He looks like an unsuspecting guy to me. Well, let's ask the man himself. Appearing on The Angle exclusively in a new segment we're calling Back to School. It's kind of a Rodney Dangerfield thing. Did you traumatize snowflakes on campus tonight, Ben? I mean, you look so just innocent and nice, and they seemed very upset about the prospect of your arriving. You were in the Storrs campus, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it was very intimidating. I mean, beneath this innocuous exterior lies the heart of a monster. And I just went in and started tearing people apart. I jumped into the audience. I know I ripped at least one guy's throat out. But in actuality, none of those things happened, of course. And this is what's so funny. I mean, this is the last campus where they've had to bring out dozens of security members, dozens of cops. The stadies were on call, apparently, all because of what happened when Lucien came to speak. And that's not rare. I mean, when I was at Berkeley, they had to bring hundreds of police officers. When I was at Northwestern, they banned the public from coming. When I was at University of Wisconsin, the front of the stage was taken over. And when I was at Cal State LA, a near riot broke out. So it varies based on campus. Tonight, thank God, was actually relatively calm. I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that the university really did its job in getting a lot of security out there. Part of it had to do with the fact it was cold. These are fair weather protesters. They're not going to show up when it's 30 degrees outside. But part of it too, I think, is that the number of people who were allowed in was limited. I mean, if you were from an outside group, you weren't allowed to come, even though there were all these security officers available.
Now, was it packed out, Ben? Was it a full auditorium, or?
Yeah, I mean, they could have given us bigger space. There are about 500 seats. All of them were full.
Yeah.
But they did prevent people who wanted to come in from the outside coming in. I was told by the college Republicans there are another 600 to 700 people who wanted to come in and who were turned away because if you're just a tax-paying member of the public and you wanted to come, they wouldn't allow you without a student ID.
You sound like Donald Trump. I had 700 people outside and they couldn't get in. I'm just teasing you. Actually,
he draws slightly bigger crowds than I do.
There were 10,000 people outside. No, Ben, we have a clip. We have a clip of a student who actually wanted to get in tonight. Let's watch.
They basically said that even if there's open seats and also unclaimed wristbands, they're still not going to let us into the actual event.
Did they tell you why?
Nope. They just said they're not the people to talk to, that there's nobody that will come in and talk to us, and even if there is somebody inside there that could help us or could kind of sort this out, they're not going to come out and talk to us.
What do you make of that?
They don't want us to go to this event.
Why?
Because Ben Shapiro.
Now, I couldn't tell from that clip or by the look of the guy whether he was like a friend or a foe. I was guessing foe, but then at the end I said friend. I couldn't really tell. It was like this, Ben. I couldn't, but apparently they're like, poor people want to come in. Like, no, you can't go. This is at some point, like two of my brothers went to UConn, so I know the Storrs campus. It was a long time ago, but I know it quite well. And it can't be that scary for them just to hear a conservative speak. It can't possibly be.
I don't think that it is. As I said in the speech, if you actually have to go seek mental health counseling because you hear that I'm coming to campus, you probably need to seek mental health counseling for a number of other issues that you have. But again, it's the security that I think is the new way that censorship is taking place. So as I've said, there are a bunch of campuses now where the administration says, yeah, we're happy to have a conservative speak, but we're not going to allow people to come and actually hear this. That's what happened at Berkeley. They had a 1,500-seat theater. They ruled out the top half of the theater, and then they prevented people who came the same day from actually attending. It's not restricted to me. This is happening to a bunch of conservative speakers around the country, all in the name of safety. But Anita Hill spoke at UConn last week, and it was completely open to the public. So all you need to have is a few leftists who are nasty and make threats, and then presumably the entire public is barred from coming in the name of safety, of course.
So it's like Obamacare. You have access to care in theory, but you don't really have care. You're there, but you can't really hear you. I just have to read, Ben, because I was like crying laughing. The diversity officer at UConn, Joelle, Murchison, in her letter that just went out before your speech, that we understand even the thought of an individual coming to campus with the views that Mr. Shapiro expresses can be concerning and even hurtful. Please utilize the many campus resources available if you should want to talk through your feelings about this issue, including my office, the Cultural Center's Dean of Students. I actually want to go pay her a visit and say, I've had a tough day today, and I really need some, just a hug. I mean, you just need a hug. Well, Ben, I'm glad you look good, though. You look like you had fun
no more
tonight.
Useless. It was fun, and I will say this, there's no more useless title on campus than Chief Diversity Officer, whose entire job is to just pretend to care about a bunch of people who are too weak-kneed to actually come in here and dissenting point of view.